Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show, kicking things off for another year in 2023 here on Flow FM. And as we regularly would do, we are checking in with Paul Dean, the president of the Ouyen Lawn Tennis Club. Paul, it's been a number of weeks since we last spoke to you. Hope you enjoyed your Christmas and New Year's. Just tell us what the little rest period's been like for you, not having to worry about any Friday nights with various weather coming in that is not desirable or anything else going wrong. You've had a bit of time off, so tell us how it's been.
Yeah, g'day, Alice. Happy New Year to all the listeners and yourself there. And good to be back. And had a nice little rest period over the Christmas period, and we're still resting up. We don't start back till next Friday night, so enjoying a few Friday nights at home and relaxing in front of the TV, watching the tennis and the telly and that sort of stuff, and before we get back into it next week.
Well, unfortunately, we're not lining things up too well here, Paul, because we've got no show next week. So we'll have to just take stock of where things are at. We did not cover the most recent round of action because we went away whilst you guys went and played your final round before breaking up for the year. So let's just go through the action from round 10. Plenty going on. We'll start with Kyamal versus Nunga. A interesting set of circumstances there. Just fill us in on how it all went, Paul.
Yeah, this game went ahead. Unfortunately, the other game ended up being a forfeit, which I'll talk to you about in a second after I'll speak about this game. But yeah, the Kyamal v Nunga game. Nunga's the strong team on top of the ladder. I reckon the way they're going, they're undefeated. I reckon they could field a team in that United Cup format, and they'll probably do well in the professional circles. But yeah, both teams had a lot of fill-ins, and on paper we thought both teams looked pretty even. It didn't quite turn out that way. Nunga had a good win there by 100 games to 63, so 37 game margin there. The main difference was the ladies there. The Nunga ladies they're strong there. They won that by 22 games there. The men's was a little closer, with Nunga winning that by 6 games. And in the mixed doubles there, it was a 9-game win to the Nunga team there. So, 13 sets, 100 games there for Nunga to 5 sets, 63 games to Kyamal. 3-set winners there was Dallas Plant, James Morris, Belinda O'Brien, Jade Eames there, and Kyle O'Brien, the 3-set winner for Kyamal.
All right, well, we'll just take a quick look at the ladder and how it sits at the moment, Paul, because we haven't spoken about the action for a while. So just fill us in on how things stand right now.
Yeah, Nunga, as I said, undefeated, sitting on top of the ladder, and their run home, they could lose all their remaining matches and they'll still finish on top. But I don't think that'll happen. But they'll stay there. Galar sitting in second, and they've got a bit of breathing space. They've got 2 games in front of the third team in Bolka. You'd think they would stay there. So the first and second are looking pretty solid there. Bolka sitting in third place. They're a game in front of Kyamal. There's all that. Probably will stay there, depending on what Kyamal do. Kyamal got 2 games remaining. They've got 1 bye. If Kyamal do win 2 games and Bolka don't win, they could skip past them and grab third spot. Which, me being a Kyamal player would be good if that happened. Kyamal and Gypsum, they're battling it out for that 4th place, and they play each other in the first round back next week. So there's only 1 game between them, and Gypsum have a slightly better percentage than Kyamal. If Kyamal will want to win that, or both teams will want to win that, whoever wins that will slip into 4th place, and they might, a team that doesn't win it might have a bit of trouble getting into the finals there.
Well, it's been an interesting season so far. Obviously, Nunga, the story of the season, with an 8-point cushion over Galar. But why don't you just bring us in on what you've made of the season so far? Because there's been a bit of variables at play. We've had forfeits because of weather concerns, but also we've been having weeks where we just sort of managed to very, very, very thinly get by with players having to fill in for other sides and whatnot. So what have your impressions been of the season so far?
Yeah, it's been a good first half of the season. Good, successful so far. players filling in for other teams. That's what happens every year with the harvest going. And unfortunately, we don't have many forfeits, but we did have a forfeit in that last game there before Christmas with Bulker being the team that forfeited, and we really didn't do that many favours when we picked the teams at the start of the year. We put 3 farmers into their team, which we knew wouldn't be working at harvest, so we put it up against them with, we thought, they'll be right, they'll find fill-ins or whatever, but when you come to that Friday, which is the second last Friday before Christmas, and it's not only them that's unavailable to play, other people have other stuff on, and suddenly you can't find fill-ins for them, so unfortunately they couldn't find a team there, that happens occasionally. But as season's gone so far, it's been really good.
All right, now I believe you want to pay some acknowledgement towards a certain player who plays for Bulker. That is Dean Munro. So what is the story behind Dean Munro?
Yeah, Dean, he's been in the tennis club for its full 40 years. I think our tennis club is fairly unique. I'm not sure whether any other tennis clubs could say the same thing, but even though our tennis club's 40 years old, we only have 5 male club champions. And the reason for that is we've had one guy who's won the club championship 30 times, and that guy's name is Barry Gregg. And, he basically won it first up in 82 and got beaten a couple of times in the mid-80s by a guy by the name of Stewie Locke. And then since then, he's basically won it every year. And, I just want to speak about the guy who probably, had he been born 5, 10 years later, he would be a club champion himself, but he's just born at the wrong time. And of those 30 times that Barry has been club champion, Dean Munro's probably, I'm not sure the exact number, but probably 15, 20 times maybe been runners-up to him. But Spot, as we call him, Spot, he's been a terrific tennis club member. He's had a stint as president at one stage a few years ago and done everything in the tennis club. And not only for the tennis club, he's a fantastic community, Ouyen-minded person. He's a big mover and shaker on the lake. He was committee there. He's heavily involved in that, and plus the football club back in the day. He had a stint as the president of the footy club at one stage, and there's not much around Ouyen that Dean hasn't done. So just wanted to say, good on him.
Absolutely love hearing about the history of the club. Paul, I'll tell you what, whilst I've got you, we don't have an Australia Day show and your club's action resumes on the 27th, so I might as well get you to give us a bit of a preview of how things are looking for the resumption of the season on January the 27th.
27th. We're back into it. Can't wait to get out there. As I was saying, Kymel v Gypsum, the bottom 2 teams playing each other. Must win for both teams. Whoever wins that will be sitting in 4th place, and whoever loses it might find themselves with only a couple of weeks of tennis to go after this. And then the other match is Galar versus Nunga, which is first versus second, and highly likely be the preview to the grand final. So that will be a very interesting clash indeed. And then, after next week, we'll have a couple of weeks off our weekly comp for club championships. And looking forward to that.
There we have it. Well, Paul, it's that one period in Australia where tennis is the game that's making all the back page headlines right now. So how have you found the Australian Open so far? Not very often we say that we've had all games rained out across one evening, but Novak's back and it seems like it's going to be another exciting Australian Open.
Yeah, I think it will be. It's it's a shame. Nick Kyrgios was pulled out. Couldn't get himself right there. But some of the other young Australians, we put our host onto them. Alex de Minaur and young Jason Kubler, who's done well. He had a good lead in tournament. I heard he's won his first round, and hopefully he can keep going. But there's a few young Aussie men there that keep us interested, and we'll keep our eye on, and we'll see what happens there. But I'm thoroughly enjoying the Australian Open. Have you got a smoky for one of the Aussies that might go on a bit of a run, Paul? Dumina's doing some really good damage. Alex Dumina there, and But I really like. I was talking about Jason Kubler just at the end. He seems to have come from nowhere, and you'll keep an eye on him.
Well, enjoy all the Australian Open action, Paul. We'll speak to you when we speak to you again. That'll be in a couple of weeks, I imagine. All the best for the resumption of the season. Thanks so much for joining us on the Flow Friday Sports Show. We'll do it all again soon.
No worries. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.